People also laughed when I said that there was thereafter a viable threat, which came from the Macron couple, who apparently paid for my assassination. And yet, strangely, neither the Pentagon nor the White House or our intel agencies or the Elysee Palace are disputing that narrative. And now we can add officially the FBI to that list of agencies that aren't denying that threat, because Kash Patel recently gave an interview to Megyn Kelly, and like an actual journalist and not a cutesy, wootsy influencer like Cam Higby, don't laugh, Megyn Kelly asked him directly about the Macron couple and about the allegation that they attempted to orchestrate an assassination on my life, and of course, whether or not they could have been involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, which I have said, right? Here is what Kash Patel says in response, or rather what he doesn't say in response. Take a listen.
There's been an allegation made by prominent podcaster Candace Owens that she's received a death threat, a credible death threat from the French, that a threat has been made on her life.
Literally?
And that the French, she's been told, also may have had a role in Charlie's assassination. Have you looked into either of those? Do you believe she's received a credible death threat from the French, or that the French had something potentially to do with Charlie's death?
Any American that receives a death threat from overseas or anywhere in America is going to be fully investigated. So we're not going to turn up.
Right there, he just tries to discredit her by not even addressing the question. This is such a political move to ignore the question and not answer, but just give a completely, like, let me just say something that I think will shut people up. Let me not actually answer the question. Let me pivot. Gosh dang it, this is so frustrating.
Eye away from that investigation or any others. If there's anything to it, this FBI will respond to it.
Okay, but so far, no.
So we are just looking at everything that comes in. We're not going to reject any piece of information. If someone feels that their life is being threatened, we are, of course, looking at it.
So he completely ignored Megyn's question about if he thinks France could have been involved. I don't care if there's been no confirmation. This is a world where we are moving so fast. We need to know that our government, the people who literally run our lives, have the power over us. By the way, they should not have the level of power they have at all. The level of power they have, and yet they can't tell us every piece of the puzzle, every single thought they have, every single, I'm sorry, is giving a ridiculous, gross amount of our income and taxes not worth a straight up honest answer? Excuse me? And yeah, I'm passionate, but this is how I am with every aspect of my life. So don't get confused, don't get misconstrued. And if you want to simmer down, or, Callan, you're just getting out of hand. Okay, and? This is important. Everyone wants to say they care about Charlie Kirk. Okay, then why are you not considering everything? Why are you just using clips and things out of context? Almost every person I talk to, actually, I think every single person, no one has watched every single episode of hers from start to finish. And was that not exactly what Charlie talked about? Is that not exactly what one of his key things was being taken out of context? And after he died, everybody had 2 cents to say. And the biggest thing was like, oh, is he this? Is he racist? Is he anti-this? Is he whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, no. Then people actually took the time to look at his stuff in full context. And so, are we going to wait until Candace dies? Are we going to wait until Candace is assassinated before we take the time? And, someone online, I was going back and forth, and they said, you have the time. No, I don't. You don't know any details about my life. You don't know I make time. It has always been a pet peeve of mine to be like, oh, I don't have time for this, or I don't have time. You make time for what you want to make time for. I mean, people, you know, and I used to think that way. 5 hours of sleep is my like best practice. 4, I can still do 4. 4 is like, I need 4. Anything else more than 5 for me personally, I'm not saying anybody else, me personally. So, but it took me a decade for me to like finally accept that I was being lazy. Do you know the amount of hours I stayed in bed? And yeah, I had a lot going on. It was freaking hard. And I was close to death multiple times by my own hand. So when I'm passionate about these things, there's a reason. And it's not just my experience. My experience is maybe, 20, 25%. The rest, other people's experiences, my therapist, and God. God. I mean, it just sucks that if you show any kind of passion, people are like, oh, you're out of control. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're manic. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Have you lived every single second of my life? No, you haven't. Have you lived every single second of all the people in my life that are important, that have had an impact on me? The people that I've met in hospitals, the people that I've met who willingly took prescribed medications, ones who were forced on them. Yeah, so when people ask me, like Kanye West, oh, yeah, he's crazy, he's bipolar, he's this. I'm sorry. Every single person I've talked to that has ever been conned into or forced to take a medication, they will tell you everything that Kanye said is real. Does he go about everything the right way? No, he does not by a long shot, but neither do I. So until I have concrete proof on anything in my life, I'm not going to speak on it. And if I do speak on it and someone is like, hey, have you seen this? Hey, have you seen that? I absolutely take that into consideration, because every single person's experiences, views, perspectives, beliefs are important and valued. And that, you have to take in everything. It even goes to the two-party system. That's why everyone is so frustrated. As soon as someone says, we need to win an election, are you kidding me? That's why we got in this mess. America was founded on ideas, on having drastic ideas. To say that there's only two ideas. That's why I hate labeling. Because as soon as you put a label on something, then people hold you to this box. They put you in this box and there's no escaping it. And that is just, it's sad, because, from pronouns to sexuality to identity politics and ideology, it's important for us to feel seen, but not if it compromises society as a whole. So you need to be honest with yourself, because labels made me feel so seen for a long time, and then they destroyed me. I don't think I'm bipolar. That's a diagnosis. It's a bunch of BS. I'm not saying for everybody, but for me. So I love engagement. Please engage with me. Please reach out. Please talk to me. If you feel I'm off, please, but not until you listen to me in my entirety. I've been a talker my entire life, from before I could even coherently form sentences. It's been a joke in my family and with those in my life forever. And so, people start to not listen because you're too much. And that's okay. That's okay. I don't want to force myself on anyone. But I'm also not going to take the time to explain myself if you're not going to take the time to listen.
Do you want to involve me in you looking at it? Because actually it kind of left me on red. There has been no communication with the FBI. You are aware right there. Megyn Kelly is asking you directly about it, so you can't pretend you didn't receive it. And you are choosing to skip over.
Cannot pretend.
Skips over the part about me having asserted, which Megyn asks him directly, was France involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination? He doesn't even address that. Skips right over it and instead says, if any American has a threat, that's what we're here for. And she's like, okay, but was there actually... People also laughed when I said that there was